everyone, it's Dr. D. So today I'm deviating a little bit from what I wanted the second episode to be in reference to culturally responsive teaching, but it still is connected to culturally responsive teaching. But I changed it because of what's happening in education. We have teachers being burned out. We have teachers quitting. We're now having the greatest teacher shortage. And on one hand, you can't even you should not be asking, why is this happening? I think teaching is the one profession that is the most demanding and the most important, because you wouldn't have your scientists and your politicians and and any other career that's out there if it wasn't for a teacher. But yet they're like treated so poorly and so disrespected on so many levels, not just from people saying, oh, you have a 10-month job. I'm going to tell you something. That's the hardest daggone 10-month job you're ever going to have. And if you're not sure about that, sub. Just be a sub or go for that teaching cert. But I say this to you for this reason. It is the union's purpose to advocate for the teachers, to make sure that they are treated well, to make sure contracts are adhered to, and they want to make sure the teachers are benefit in every way, shape, or form. And that is awesome. The advocates for the students become their parents. But to connect this to being culturally responsive, there are cultures out there where the parents will not buck against authority figures. They won't buck against administration. They won't buck against teachers. They won't buck against the principals. They won't, because it's the culture that if that's what they're saying, and they're saying this about you and you're not doing this or do that, then they're going to go to you, the child, and say, okay, well, this is what you need to do. That's what your teacher said. So they're not going to be the noisemakers at the board meetings. And I think that puts them at this huge disadvantage, because a lot of times that's looked upon, well, the parents don't show up, so we're just going to pass these rules, and we can say, hey, we put it out there, we put it on the website, we sent out a survey, whatever the case may be, but there's no one bucking against what we're going to do. And then these things pass at the detriment of the kids. So administrators out there, boards of education out there, whoever's out there, parents out there, you have a voice. And if your voice is ever needed, it's now. Pay attention to the changes that are happening within your district and voice your opinion as to whether it benefits your kids. The unions are pushing hard, and rightfully so. Teachers are losing preps. They're burning out. They're exhausted. Now we have COVID, right? So we have to do these catch-up plans and accelerated learning, and all of these things are happening, and it's being pushed on the laps of the teachers while they're still being expected to bring these great scores. So we need to make sure there's a balance, and that the kids are not forgotten in this process, to make sure that there's somebody out there, like me, advocating for these kids to get what's rightfully theirs to the best of the ability of the districts in these conditions. So union advocates for the teachers, parents advocate for the students, but in some communities, it's not going to be balanced because of the culture of certain communities. So please, whatever policies you're making in your schools that have to change due to COVID, please make sure you do it, making sure that the kids are getting the best as well as the teachers. Because one doesn't exist without the others. There's no kids, there's no teachers. There's no teachers, there's no learning. We need each other, yin and yang. Happy sciencing, Dr. D.